to you by Sunbeam, the best electric appliances made. The Deluxe Sunbeam Mixmaster Food Mixer, the new Sunbeam Steamer Dry Iron, and the new Sunbeam Controlled Even Heat Automatic Fry Pan. Now, let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning panel of What's My Line? First, the popular columnist whose voice of Broadway appears in papers coast to coast, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Our guest panelist tonight is one of our favorites, and he's about to appear in a motion picture. In fact, I think in some cities it's out, called Huckleberry Finn, which I'm sure you'll enjoy. And also, he's going to be doing Goodbye Again in summer theaters, and I have written them down because I don't want anybody to miss him. It's the Northern Playhouse in Detroit and Edgewater Beach in Chicago. Mr. Tony Randall.
Very well done indeed. Yes, the summer stock season is upon us. And upon my left is the brilliant actress who will open tomorrow at the Playhouse in the Park in Philadelphia in Amphitryon 38, Miss Arlene Francis.
First of all, I want to thank the hundreds of people that have written to me in this past week. It meant a great deal to me. And now I want to introduce our publisher panelist who means a great deal to all of us, Mr. Bennett, Cerf.
Nobody knows right now whether President Truman's going to be at the Democratic Convention or not, but I can assure you that John Daly will be there. He leaves all ready to go right after this show. Here he is in person, John Charles Daly.
Bennett is right. We have a lot of preliminary work to do at conventions. The committees begin to meet, the Platform Committee and the Credentials Committee. And I want to be there because in case Bennett tries to get in and I'm at the Credentials Committee, he won't make it. Promise you that. Now, if Bennett could sing, I'd turn this part over to Bennett, but I've heard Bennett sing. So we'll just say happy birthday, Dorothy Kilgallen. It's Dorothy's birthday today. And my birthday present to you, Dorothy, is that I won't let Bennett sing happy birthday to you. And that's the last kind thing I'm planning to do for anybody in the panel tonight. We'll have some very interesting occupations for them. We'll also have a famous mystery guest a little bit later in the show, and we'll meet our first challenger after this word. And now let's meet our first contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Lavelda. And Lavona. Rowe. Is that right? I will presume that in both cases it is Miss Rowe. Is that right?
Right.
Miss Rowe, and you look lovely, if I may say so. Beautiful orchids that are merely, shall we say, handmaidens to your own beauty.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
Iowa City, Iowa.
Iowa City, Iowa.
That's right.
Oh, that's fine. May I present you to our panel, the Mrs. Rowe panel? And now would you join me over here? And, do you both know how we keep score?
Yes.
All right, if you know how we keep score, we have nothing to do but to let the audience in the theater and those who are watching at home know exactly what your line is. Panel, I will say that the Mrs. Rowe are both self-employed and they deal in a service. And we'll begin the general questioning with Bennett Cerf.
Mrs. Rowe, the Mrs. Rowe, Iowa City is famous for the University of Iowa. Have you got anything to do with the university?
No, sir.
That's 1 down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Miss Rowe and Miss Rowe, do you purvey your services to both sexes?
Yes, ma'am.
Are they human beings?
Yes.
Are they grown-ups?
Sometimes.
Oh, you can also deal with children?
Sometimes.
Do you move about in your work?
Yes.
And you both do the same thing?
Yes.
But could you do it at different times?
Yes. Sometimes.
But sometimes you do it together?
Yes.
Do you talk to people?
Sometimes.
Do you demonstrate or show them anything? Guide them to anything?
No.
No. 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Randall.
Was it established that you're twins?
Yes.
I would presume your service has nothing to do with that fact.
No. No.
Do people come to you for your service?
Sometimes.
And as often you go to them?
Sometimes.
Is special training required for this
Yes.
service?
Yes, a degree of training. This is not to indicate that, as we sometimes suggest, special training means qualification.
A degree
for
of
graduate
training that does
degree.
not include a degree. Is that what you would mean?
Exactly, Mr.
I
Randall.
see. Is this a part-time job, a summer job, as it were?
No.
That's when you stepped right in
I
like
sure
that
did,
horse
yes.
stepped in the gopher hole. That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Francis.
Do you both work for the welfare of people?
We like to think so.
You meaning specifically here, are they engaged in some activity which
That
has
makes
as its
people feel
principal
better,
purpose
yes.
the making of a better condition of health and
Yes.
well-being in other
Yes
people?
and no. I know it's coming up.
It's coming is right. That's 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mrs. Roll, are you in any way associated with the entertainment business?
No.
5 down and 5 to go,
Should
Miss
be.
Kilgallen.
Can you do your work without actually touching the people you're working for?
Yes.
Could you do the work without actually seeing them? Could they just ring you up and you'd do it?
I don't think you ought to have a
The
conference
question
with
was-
just one twin.
Matter of fact, we're going to have a whole reorganization of this program. I'm going to sit in the middle next time. Now, actually, the question was, can you do your work without seeing the people? Is that right?
While they're out of the room, you know.
No, I don't think so. We'd have to give you a no. 6 down and 4 to go, Mr. Randall.
Was it established that you do your work indoors?
Sometimes.
You also work outdoors?
Yes.
Is there a kind of instruction involved in what you do?
There is instruction to the degree only that they might, for their own purposes, require of individuals that they follow certain courses of action.
What did he say?
Well, let's go.
Do you work for a private,
They work
self-employed? Aha, you thought you had me, didn't you?
I didn't even get my gum settled.
No, you're self-employed. Do you wear special clothes for what you do?
No.
That's 7 down and 3 to go, Miss Francis.
Is there anything protective about your positions?
Protective? No.
8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Do you have anything to do with either food or drink?
No.
9 down and 1 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Do you ever follow people?
Follow? Yes.
Follow them.
Yes.
Are you ever employed in an investigating capacity?
No. I don't.
If you meant the verb there to be used in a very general sense,
Oh, I did, John.
and not having specific application to the inquiring of individuals or circumstance for the purposes of legal action or something like that.
Just like is Mrs. Jones home? That's investigation.
Oh, that sort of thing. Carry on.
All right. Do you ever carry papers with you?
Yes.
Do you ever give them to people?
No.
No, they wouldn't give their papers away. They paid good money for their papers. They shouldn't give them away, and they wouldn't want to give them away anyway, because the Mrs. Rowe are news photographers. And I must say this redounds to Bennett's credit. They covered him when he was in Iowa City. They are both members of the Iowa Press Photographers Association, work for television stations and newspapers. And I must say this is a great way to get in the papers, Bennett. I want to congratulate you.
I don't know. I must have been blind that day.
Actually, Mr. Cerf, only one of us was there that night.
Even so, then.
Even so.
They didn't want to risk both cameras on you, and I don't blame them. Thank you very much, Mrs. Rowe, for being our guest. Lovely to have you over. And now let's see what we can do with our second challenger. Will you enter and sign in, please? Barbara and... Pardon me. Virginia Harker, is that right? I think it's only fair, since we don't have color television, that you should all know Bennett's turning a little green. He thinks he's seeing double. And he is, too. I know this must be, in both cases, Miss Harker. Is that right? Where are you from?
Twilla, Utah.
Twilla?
Twilla.
Twilla, Utah. Fine. And I think it's fair to tell you, panel, that the Mrs. Harker are doing summer work, and that is what we're looking for tonight. May I present the panel? Now, would you join me over here, please? Do you both know how we keep score? Yes. All right, then let's let everybody at home and the audience in the theater know exactly what your lines are. You got plenty of room?
Yeah.
You got plenty of room? Yeah? All right. Now, the Mrs. Harker are self-employed, and they deal in a product. And we'll begin the general questioning with Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
Well, first I'd like to know where they got their dresses. Does that count?
Where did you get your dresses?
Salt Lake.
Be
They
right
went
out.
fishing one day, it's obvious, and they
All
came
right.
up with some dresses.
Is this product something that I might have in my home?
Yes.
Is it anything that's worn? No.
One down and nine to go, Mr. Randall. Is it anything that's worn? The answer was no. The first question was, is this something I might have in my home?
Yes.
And the answer was yes.
This funny product that Dorothy might have in her home, might I have it in my home?
Yes.
The laughter there was more derisive. Is this a manufactured product?
No.
Two down and eight to go, Miss Francis.
Is it consumed?
Yes.
Is it consumed by human beings?
Sometimes.
By that, do you mean it is sprayed around and human beings could get in it as well as animals?
No, it's not sprayed around. That's 3 out and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Miss Harker, Barbara, or Virginia, is this product, has it ever been alive?
Yes.
Is it alive when you deal with it?
Yes.
Is it something that moves along the ground rather than flying?
Yes.
Is it very close to the ground?
Yes. Yes.
Would it be in the snake or insect family?
You got a copy of that dictionary with you, Bennett? That dictionary you published?
If they
I know,
say
I
yes,
would
I'm
say that
stuck.
I am not sufficiently expert, nor do I believe either of you would be willing to say you are, to give you a specific designation. I would say that in a very broad terminology, some people might think of it in the general categories which you describe, although I doubt that they specifically belong in it, to be frank with you.
Well, might it be anything like the lizard family?
Ah, the lizard
No,
family.
no.
Could be. No.
It could be. No, we're gonna. We may not know too much, but the lizards get knocked out. That's 4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, Mrs. Harker, do these products have no legs?
Yes. Yes.
Are they used for fishing?
Yes. Yes.
Do you either raise or find or dig up worms?
Yes.
Sell them? I said, and sell them.
And sell them is right.
What I want to know is what makes anyone think these could be found in Dorothy's in my home.
Well, I've heard for years that the two of you were real fishing buffs.
Real
got up
wormy,
at
is
5
what you-
o'clock every morning. Oh, no, not wormy. I didn't say that, did I? Well, that first thing, two pretty girls from Utah, we do that. That's for openers. It is summer work, as I told you. They catch earthworms and sell them to fishermen, and you keep them in the backyard in the pit that you dig,
Yes.
don't you?
Yes.
That's fine.
The answer is no. Worms are in no way a member of the reptile family.
No, they are not reptile family,
No.
but a reptile insect, you know, I didn't want to say no to Bennett because I think it's not quite fair to ask you to specifically
family are they in,
identify.
John?
I thought you'd be egghead enough to ask a question like that, Bennett. And we're very glad to have had you two here. But Bennett, no, I wish he was home somewhere. Thank you very much for coming to visit us, and much success in your later life. Good to see you. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a word from our sponsor. Now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which the members of the panel are always blindfolded. Blindfolds in place, panel?
Yes, John.
Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? All right, panel, as you know, in the case of the mystery challenger, we go to a different form of questioning. You ask one question at a time in turn, moving clockwise. And we'll begin it all with Arlene Francis.
Well, we've had two of everything tonight. Is our mystery guest more than one?
Yes.
Mr. Cerf.
Are you both of the feminine persuasion?
No.
That's one down and 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Are you married?
No.
That's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Randall.
Your voices sound terribly young. Are you children?
Yes.
Are you related?
Yes.
Well.
Are you twin?
Mr.
Are you brother and sister?
No.
That's 3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Well, related to whom, then?
Well, I do think there's probably a little explanation here is necessary. I think you will have deduced by this time that the degree of recognition indicates some element of the entertainment world, and the factor of identification as relations can be in either the actual fact of their daily lives or in their other appearance. Miss Kilgallen.
He did it again, didn't he?
Oh, yes, indeed you do. Are you currently appearing on the New York stage?
Yes.
Mr. Randall.
Children on the New York stage.
Oh.
Sound of music.
Are you twins?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, are you children of a very famous family that had been made into a musical?
Yes.
Trapp.
The Trapp family in Sound of Music.
Oh, cute.
They ought to sing Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So.
Oh, it's wonderful if they could.
Da, 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 da.
No, I don't think actually...
They're not allowed to do that,
I don't
huh?
think we ought to ask them to do that, but I do want them all to be known to you because they are just wonderful. I took my family to see The Sound of Music, which is, I think you know, stars Mary Martin, who is a great and wonderful performer. But these youngsters just make it an ideal and wonderful evening. They're just as great as they can be.
Thank you.
So let's start this. I will say Laurie Peters is your mentor. She is the oldest among you, I believe. Laurie, is it fair to ask you how old you are?
17.
17 years old. And then why don't you identify yourselves and say how old you are? How old are you then?
I am 9 years old, and I'm Arlene, and I play Gretel in the show.
Oh, fine. Will you come into the microphone, hon, and identify yourself?
My name is Mary Susan Locke. I'm 10 years old, and I play Martha von Trapp.
And will you be next?
I'm Marilyn Rogers. I'm 12 years old, and I play Brigitte.
I'm Joseph Stewart. I'm 13 years old, and I play Kurt Von Trapp.
And you,
And
Nick?
I'm Kathy Dunn. I'm 12 years old, and I play Louisa.
And you're now.
I'm Billy Snowden. I'm 13 years old. I play Friedrich.
And they're wonderful. Just absolutely wonderful. Now, there's the comment of the year on a successful musical. So we can't even get tickets. And I want everybody to know I didn't ask for any free tickets. I just want this known right now. Well, thank you very much, all of you, for coming. And you all be very proud of yourselves, because you're wonderful. Will you go take it nice and the family? Well, I guess we'll have to agree now you've done very well so far tonight, panel. And we'll have another contestant after this word from our alternate sponsor. And now let's meet another contestant. Will you enter and sign in, please? Bernard and Howard Ross. Right, sir? Where are you from, gentlemen?
I'm from Union, New Jersey. Paramus, New Jersey.
Union, New Jersey, and Paramus, New Jersey. May I present the panel?
Hi.
Panel. Now, will you join me over here, gentlemen? You know how we keep score? You know how we keep score? Yes. Fine. If you know how we keep score, we'll let the folks at home, those in the theater, know exactly what your lines are. Your lines. All right, panel, we will tell you that the Messieurs Ross are self-employed and they deal in a service, and we'll begin the general questioning with Tony Randall.
Union, New Jersey is, if I'm not mistaken, the last stronghold in the east of the glorious art form known as burlesque.
You're thinking of Union City.
That's Union City.
You want to start over again, old boy?
Are you two twins?
Yes.
You deal in the service. Is it a service that is equally useful to men and women?
Yes.
More to one than to the other?
No.
One down and 90.
Oh, I'm sharp tonight.
Do people come to you for your service?
Yes. Yes.
Do you work indoors?
Yes.
Would it be considered an office?
Yes. Yes.
Do you advise them in any way?
Yes. Yes.
Yes? Your service is a service that has anything to do with people getting around in the world?
No.
No. That's 2 down and 8 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Gentlemen, would your service be in any possible way connected with either legal or police work?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Does your work have anything to do with the financial affairs of your clients?
Very vaguely, let's put it that way. That would be a no. 4 down and 6 to go, Mr. Randall.
Was it established that people come to you?
Yes.
Is special training required for this service?
Yes.
A kind of higher training that would involve school and...
Graduate degree
yes.
work?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do people feel better for having come to you?
Yes. Yes.
Is it, would you say that you are in the general area of hygiene or health?
Yes. Yes.
Do you work on a specific part of your client's anatomies?
Yes. Yes.
Is that part generally upward?
Yes. Yes.
Is it above the chest?
Yes. Yes.
It is somewhere upon the cranium.
Good heavenly days. Betsy, will you speak out what you have in your mind? We're running out of time. What?
I was thinking dentist.
Dentist is right. Wonderful, Tony.
I've been a guest on this panel perhaps 20, 25 times. Now, it's the first time I ever got anything.
You get your medal after the show.
You'll never have me back now.
Oh, sure we will. You know, one thing, at Twins, we've had some, I think it's the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of September, they have the 26th International Twins Convention in St. Louis, Missouri, at the Chase Hotel. So make yourself a twin, Bennett, and go. And good night, Miss Kilgallen.
Good night, John. Good night, Tony.
Good night, Dorothy. Good night, Arlene.
Good night, dear Tony. Good night, Bennett.
Have a good time in Los Angeles, John.
Thanks very much, Bennett. And thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Todman. This is Hal Sims speaking.